How to improve your credit score. Hi, I'm 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚 from Lifestyle Finance Australia, and today I'm going to have a chat with you about how you can improve your credit score. It's something that I get asked a lot, and when banks are trying to decide whether you're a good risk for them to lend money to, this is the first place they go. And there's two things that you really need to understand about your credit score so you can understand which part of the score needs to be improved and what you can do about it. So banks look at your 𝙬 1.1 score and your comprehensive score. Now I know at this point it sounds a little bit like Chinese. It took me a little bit of time to wrap my head around it too, but depending upon which bank you're using will depend upon whether they're going off the 𝙬 score or the comprehensive score. So in an ideal world, you want to have both on point. So essentially your 𝙬 1.1, this is the oldest score or the oldest benchmark that banks have really been using to determine whether you're a good risk or not. And the biggest things that influence this is how many addresses that you've lived at within the last 5 years, how many job changes you've had within the last 5 years, and whether you've had any credit defaults against your name. So when I say a credit default, that could either be a financial default, so whether you've had a mortgage, a personal loan, car loan, credit card, boat loan, bike loan, and for whatever reason something's happened and you haven't been able to make the repayments and it's defaulted and gone against you. And you know if you've been defaulted because people are calling you, chasing you all the time. It's more than just you've missed a couple of payments and you've arranged with the bank to catch it up. It's actually gone beyond the banks, beyond the bank's arrears, I guess, call team, and they've had to use an external house to find a way to get this sorted out. But if you've got financial defaults, you know banks definitely do not let you forget about these. And the other ones that can be a little bit sneaky that can end up as defaults is electricity and telco providers. And this could be as simple as you've moved out of your house, you forgot to update the address with the last person who was providing your electricity or gas, you never got the last bill. 2 years later, you go to get finance and you find out that you've got a default of an unpaid electricity bill. These ones are pretty easy to fix up. However, these are things that impact your 𝙬 1.1. Banks don't like to see either financial defaults or utility defaults on credit files. So if they're there, get them tidied up. And also when you're like, let's just say if you were wanting to get finance and you were wanting to invest in your first property or you're wanting to get a car, think about having a little bit of stability within your profile before applying. So if you've recently just changed jobs, that's going to affect the 𝙬 1.1. If you've moved 4 addresses within the last 2 years or you've changed states, that's going to affect the 𝙬 1.1 score. And the other thing here that also has a really big impact is the number of credit inquiries you've had. Typically, if you're only doing 1 finance inquiry a year, it's not a big deal. It's not going to affect that 𝙬 1.1 score too much. However, if you're shopping around, what's going to be the best credit card I can get, or what's going to be the best loan, I'm going to apply to 5 different companies all at the same time and see who's going to come back with the best offer. Essentially what you've done is just 5 inquiries, and I think each inquiry roughly costs you about 60 points on the 𝙬 1.1 score, and that score is only out of 1,000. So most finance companies, to look at you, they want you to see your 𝙬 1.1 500 plus. Anything below 500, your rate's going to start going up a bit. However, things are still available. Anything below 300 or 350, you're in trouble, and this score needs to get looked at and needs to get fixed up in terms of like checking for those defaults and thinking about having a little bit more stability. So staying put in the same place, staying put in the same job, and maybe staying put in the same state. So that's the 𝙬 1.1. Now the second score that banks use to determine whether you're a good risk or not, and this one I'm seeing used a lot more regularly because it determines or not so much determines, I just think it's a more accurate reflection of what your relationship is with credit, and that's called your comprehensive credit score. And this one refers directly to how well you're managing your existing repayments. So if you have a credit card and a couple of loans and you pay these on time every time, no issues, then you're going to have a really high comprehensive credit score, which means you're going to have access to the lowest rates available to you when you're looking at financing. So if you haven't been making your repayments on time with your existing commitments, then this is a really easy way to bump up your comprehensive credit score. 3 to 6 months of paying this on time will have the comprehensive score go up dramatically. Again, comprehensive score is also out of 1,000. Most finance companies want to see you 500 and above to have fairly decent rates. Anything below like the 500 to 350 mark, you are falling into the higher risk category. Anything below that, or if you're more than, if you have a 4 on your credit file, you're an instant knockout, which is, I think it's like 120 days late on repayments. So as long as you're kind of falling within that sort of framework, then you should be okay. But if you see the comprehensive score low, just make sure whatever commitments you've got, start paying that on time, and that'll boost things quickly and change the game really quickly for you. So in terms of credit scores and what banks are looking for, I hope that sort of like helped de-jargon that, so you know what you're looking for and how to make some changes there if necessary. And if you're stuck or you need help financing, or you've had some issues in the past and you'd like a little bit of guidance, feel free to reach out. This is the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. We can get a copy of your credit score, we can help you navigate what needs to get done, and we can help you plan for whatever it is that you're wanting to purchase in the future. There'll be a link somewhere at top below, maybe that way. But yeah, click the link, get in contact, and either myself or one of my team will be more than happy to help you with that.